All right, welcome back. Last Request BBQ show. It's a special day. It's a launch day. What am I talking about? I have a new product, made them up myself. If there's only smell-o-vision, cedar planks for salmon with, of course, there it is, Last Request BBQ show, cedar planks. Check that out. Beautiful cedar planks from the wonderful west coast of Canada. I probably tested 10, 12 different cedar planks until I came across these, ordered some up, sampled them. You would have seen it in a kind of a short. The aroma from these, unbelievable. Beats anything I could find. Wonderful people ordered these up and had my logo put on them. So these will be in a few weeks up for sale on my new website. These are the best I could find. So we're gonna cook some salmon on my new cedar planks. We have a beautiful piece of salmon, of course, from our friends at Waterfront Seafood Market in Mississauga. So I'm gonna actually do two types of salmon, one with Portuguese pimenta and one with molasses maple syrup. That one's for my mom. She likes it on the sweeter side, as you probably all know. Cook on the Komado with charcoal, but no wood, right? The wood flavor is just gonna be infused. And then I'm gonna make some grilled sweet potatoes. Fun recipe that's gonna be cooked on Pitmaster's Choice pellets. Boiled first, then cooked and smoked on the Yoder to give it a nice little grill, a nice little smoke point. Lots of stuff going on. Let's get started. No two cedar planks, of course, are quite alike. Both smell amazing. Now, the way to go, I've got my Drippies container here, which pops up. You've seen that before. So I put 2 planks in, because I'm doing 2 pieces of salmon. These have been soaking for 6 hours, absorb a nice bit of water, so that not only slows the burn, so to speak, but also releases and steams the fish at the same time. But I've been holding these underwater with my Yeti lid. Doesn't take a lot of water, just enough to cover it. Every now and then I go flip them as well, just to make sure. But I think these are ready. They look amazing, they're well soaked. So let's just dump the water out here, because I'm then gonna use my Drippies as a cutting board. All right, so let's take this Drippies. And by the way, Drippies courtesy and thanks to my friends at All Barbecues Canada. All right, so for the Drippies, you just push it down, and suddenly now you've got a cutting board. And now we're ready to go. Once again, a delicious piece of salmon. Sushi grade salmon for my friends at Waterfront Seafood Market. There it is. Let's crack this one open. Now it's a 1 large piece I picked up, but I am going to cut it in 2, one for us and one for my mom, who loves a nice piece of salmon. She just celebrated her 91st birthday. Yay, Mom. Look at this beautiful piece of salmon. For my mom, let's say right about here. Cut that down. Still has the skin on, which is actually better for when you're doing the planks. And I know I say it almost every episode, but I really need to sharpen these knives. There we go. All right, 2 delicious pieces of salmon. So for the first one, for the mom salmon, I'm putting a little bit of Cattleman's blackening seasoning. Thank you, All Barbecue Canada, for that. My mom does not like, even some of the peppers are a bit too much now. Hey, you're 91. You made it this far. That's a fantastic trade-off. I like my spicy food, but who knows? Maybe I won't like it when I get to be 91 either, if I make it that long. God willing. All right, we'll let that settle in. Now for this one, we are going to use Portuguese pimenta, a homemade, spicy, peppery seasoning. Now you can get this at grocery store out of the bottle if you don't happen to have amazing mother and father-in-law like I do, who make it almost every year. And every year it's a little bit different. Lots of salt, peppers, and I'm gonna make it for the show actually. I sat through and watched how they make it. It's one of those family recipes. And there's a fair bit on, but that's okay. It will settle in quite nicely. All right, so we're gonna let that sit for a spell on our wonderful cedar planks. Here we go. So put that right there. There we go. Beautiful. All right. Shout out to Anthony, my creative director, who created that logo for me. So there we have our 2 cedars ready to go. The only thing that we haven't done is we haven't put our meter in. It's a perfect way to measure, control the temps. So let's put our meters in for each. I got 2 of these, so each gets measured properly. There we go. And these are ready to go. So let's get these over onto the Komado in about 5-10 minutes, because what we're doing is we're going to be making the sweet potatoes, and right now the sweet potatoes are boiling. That's about 15 minutes to boil the sweet potatoes. So let's just set these aside for a few secs, and then we'll get them on to the Komado. Okay, now while we're waiting for our potatoes to boil, we're gonna make the adobe creamy sauce. I'm going to use Kewpie. This will go with our potatoes. And then I'm gonna pour in some of this chipotle pepper sauce. Gonna go as we go, there we go. Okay, and then we're gonna put in a couple of limes. Two of these, or will I? No, I think that might just be enough actually. And then some seasoning. I'm gonna put the Cattleman's Provisioners, just to add a delicious pop. There we go, not too much. That's good, I think it needs some more chipotle. Then we'll do a taste test. That's more pro, right? It's a little more pro. There we go. Now let's take a little taste. Needs more chipotle. There we go. All right, we'll go for the whole can. One whole can. I want that extra chipotle because the Kewpie mayo is very flavorful, so it was hiding a little bit of the chipotle. Let's try it. Oh, that's better. Now we'll put that aside. So some fun news, I am now an ambassador for Meater. I love the temperature, I love the ease of use, I love the remote consistency, and hosted a bunch of times. They reached out, we reached out, shook hands, and now I'm an ambassador. So anyway, that's kind of fun. So they sent me this kit. Let's see what I've got as an official ambassador. That's a fun hat. Check that hat out with all the symbols. So let me just swap that out actually. Let me swap out. There we go. What do you think? Well, we have another hat. Meater hat and a meter, very good. Can always use, don't have enough meters, so I'll charge that up and get that going in the system. Oh, a pack of stickers. All right, so I got to put, look at these great stickers. So I got to figure out which ones I'm going to put on my sticker collection here. What's this? A Meater coaster. Let's take a look at this, see what this is. Oh, look at that. Meater coasters for our beverages for cocktail time. There we go. Meater coasters. And oh, we got a book. Smoking with Myron Nixon. Recipes made simple. All right, barbecue recipes. I'll make something out of this one. Check that out. And what? Oh, I got a t-shirt. Fantastic. Nice Meater t-shirt. I'll wear that for the next cook. There we go. Beautiful on the front and on the back. All right. So thanks to all the folks at Meater for the partnership, and looking forward to doing more cooks with Meater. This is the one that's going on. Thank you again to Meater. All right. Here we go. Fantastic. All right, loving the Fogo charcoal. There's my new Milwaukee cutting blade, which I kind of quite like opening up like that. I love the Fogo. I've really come to appreciate it. The black bag is kind of regular, faster burning, and the brown bag, you can just see it off in the corner. A little slower. I'm using the Fogo starters as well, making a bit of room there so that the oxygen can kind of get in and up. I've started doing this sometimes as well, just nesting those in. I guess that's a classic move as opposed to putting it in a chimney. Sometimes that depends how I'm feeling, but in this case, feeling like I had the time, kind of go in a semicircle, watch up charcoal go in my little burner there, get that going. Kind of works out pretty well, and then just close it up, and then it's surprisingly quick, actually. It really works. It really gets going pretty quick. And again, I'm not putting wood on this. Right now, I'm going to just fully vent it, get lots of heat, and right now you can see it's up at 425. I'm not going to cook it at 425. But it's got some brilliant heat underneath. And once again, I'm not scared about how hot it is underneath because these are one-time use boards. They're not meant to be reused. They're just going to like charcoal up, even with all that water. Right, as you can see, I'm not even using the second rack, putting them right on the direct heat. The meters in there to measure those nice pieces of thick salmon, put it right on the heat. Right away, you can get that sense of that redwood. Here's the Meater app, which I love, really. It is a big, important piece for cooking a thick piece of salmon like this in this fashion. So I'd recommend, a thermometer. This thermometer works really well for me. You can go through, you set all the things, what kind of piece of fish it is, and then it goes. It makes my life a whole lot simpler. And you got two pieces of salmon, right? Because they're one's a little thinner than the other. So you can have both pieces of salmon measured. All right, now let's get to these potatoes. So I've boiled these potatoes up. They're huge sweet potatoes, as you can see by the size of them. And that's why the steam's coming out. Going to slice them up, basically slice in medallions. As you can see, I got my Chuck Hughes olive oil there and they're ready. So put those on the rack, get them ready for prepping. Swoosh some olive oil on both sides. I think I'm only going to do one side on the camera, but you for sure do both. Chuck Hughes, great product line. Great new cookbook out. By the way, I'll be doing some recipes from his new cookbook just released. Actually, I just did a test run in the test kitchen yesterday. All right, we're using Cattleman's Provisioners, which Dean at All BBQ Canada gave me. It's a real favorite of his, so I thought I'd give it a try. Be careful of any of these seasonings, if they all have salt in them mostly. So just be a little careful about how much you put on here. I'm going to flip them over and do the same process on both sides. So these are already boiled, right? So basically they're more than parboiled. They're boiled pretty well. They're still stiff, right? You couldn't eat them the way they are. I want them a little al dente. We're going to just put some more of that Provisioners on, which I quite like, actually. It's a nice and all-purpose. And there we go. Ready to go into the Yoder. Geez, I got to really refinish that Yoder. Of course, we're on Pitmaster's Choice Pellets. Now we're on the competition blend. And really, I just cranked this thing up. I mean, I started it at 375, but I cranked it up to 425, 450. And it takes a while, right? These are big pieces, and I like them a little crisper than oh, look at that finish. I got to fix that. Now, look at this salmon. The salmon is done. The meters told me the boards on the top, right? The boards look like you could reuse them again, but you cannot reuse them again. Now, you could flip these halfway through and you could get some nice grill marks on both sides. I advise you do that. Though, the more you mess with them, they start to fall apart a little bit. There you go. So you get a good sense of what's on the bottom. You could serve them that way if you're kind of in a bit of a hurry, as I was. Stack them up, but oh my God, they're just delicious. Anyway, there you go. There's your sweet potato discs or whatever you want to call them. So with the Provisioners and the olive oil, turned out very nice, very good looking. All right, we're back in the house. It gets dark early this time of the year. Now that you can see the light, check the salmon out. Fantastic on the brand new Last Request BBQ Cedar boards. Thanks to Jim Moore and the folks at Coastal for making such an amazing product, being such great partners. Check out these potatoes, by the way. Look at that. Just delicious. Once again, boiled 15, cooked 15 on the Yoder with the Pitmaster. So thanks to Meter for, now that I'm a new ambassador, is my new Meter hat. And the Meter's so important. Yeah, and then the mic cut off. I don't know why I cut off. But anyway, the Meter's very important to make this dish. Now, for my mom, she likes it on the sweet side, so thank you, Crosby's, for giving me the molasses maple syrup on the salmon. She loved this. Just the aroma. Listen, the smoke and the aroma, it's an ingredient. It's a flavor. So perfectly cooked, once again, I gotta say, thanks to the Meter. I cooked it to, I guess, about 138, 142. So you judge how much or little you like it, but here's me doing the taste test with the Portuguese pimenta on it, which has got some salt in it. So do be careful. Most of them do have some salt. Listen, it was cooked perfectly. I got cord. Look at that cord hanging there. I got to do something about that cord hanging there. Every time I shoot this, I say the same thing. It's kind of a cord violation. Anyway, Slava Ukraini, by the way. Glory to Ukraine. Let's keep those folks in our thoughts as they fight for freedom around the world. And then we made up a nice little sauce that I put on the side. Geez, I'm going from the Ukraine to sauce. Anyway, bit of a rough transition there. And I put a little bit of this sauce on it. That is really just tops it off so well. I mean, you could eat it without it, of course. But, whether it's butter or whether it's a sauce, man, they go well. They all go well together. This is what I think I'm saying when I'm doing this because, of course, the microphone. You can see now the microphone starts flashing saying, the camera receiver element of the Rode is out of battery. There you go. Happens to everybody. Seems to happen to me more than often than I'd like. Anyway, make this meal. These boards will be available soon. Thanks for tuning in.